YouTube to grow your business. If you want a copy of today's recording, comment now. Just say yes. That's all you need to say. I would love to hear and see if you would like a recording of today's webinar, and it will be in your inbox 24 hours minimum from now. It takes that long for the system to actually render. And then as well as you, again, I'm not going to record the questions, but I will save that Q&A for all of us who are here live. Okay, so just say yes there. Let me see what questions there are before I get started. Remember, if you need closed caption, you can go to g.co/grow/Maria. That's where you can go. If you are tweeting or posting, use the hashtag Grow with Google. It lets everybody know that you're leveling up your skills and lets the Google team know this matters to you. And you can also tag me on Twitter and Instagram, and I will retweet and repost you. All right, everybody, we are going in I see a lot of questions here, everyone. Long questions. Let me get to some of the short ones that I can get to. Hello, Katie, I see you here. Perfect. All right. Oh, you're very welcome, Carol. Awesome, Carla. Yes, I see. All good. Perfect. Do not put your email in there. It's not going to pick up your email. It will send the recording to the email that you registered with. Okay? All right, everybody, let's go ahead and go in. I will tell you in a little while how you can get a copy of today's slides. Now's not the time yet, but I will tell you when you're going to do that. Now, we know that people are using YouTube. How many of you looked at YouTube today? Just put the number 1 in the question box if you looked at YouTube today. Okay? All right. What, for those of you who said it with 1, if any of you want to share in the question box why you looked at YouTube, okay, what you were looking at. I already looked. I started on an Instagram reel. Somebody was talking about some of the different new blouses that have come in, and I was looking at that early this morning before even the sun had risen, and I ended up in her Instagram reel, but I went to her YouTube channel because it was much more in depth, and I wanted to see some of the pairing that she did. I'm also a Disney bounder. I love to wear, different Disney bounding clothing, and so I was looking at that too. So I absolutely was in YouTube today. All right, I see somebody help with software. I posted a video this morning. Shannon, awesome. New podcast, true crime story, vetting a speaker for a business event. Got it. Target, you went to Target. Okay, you went to Target on YouTube. I haven't even been to Target on YouTube. Weekly daily news updates. Let me see. Formation video. Oh, perfect. Instructional content. Yep, exactly. We all go there when we want to learn something a lot, either through entertainment or also when we want to learn something and go to what I call YouTube University. We just bring it up, and just like in the Matrix where they just plugged in and all of a sudden, oh my goodness, I know jiu-jitsu. We love to do that when we go into YouTube. In fact, more than 2 billion people monthly use YouTube and watch 1 billion hours per day. Just soak that in. 1 billion hours per day, right? All right, now having said that, understand that 85% of viewers turn to YouTube when they're looking for new information. We saw that already just to the people in this room, that people are going there for new information, for new content, vetting information. And also, we know that people shop on YouTube. They look, like somebody said, Target. They're looking every morning. I understand that, the gospel. So you're looking at whatever is important to you, but even shoppers will look as they try to make decisions, and they want to see unboxings. 4 out of 5 videos on YouTube are unboxings. That's when somebody actually videos that they're taking off the wrapping, the bubble wrap, and all of that, really showing a shopper what they're getting, so they don't have to worry about getting something that they didn't want. That buyer's remorse already sets in. Now they want to make sure that they are doing their due diligence to see what this product is about. Today, we're going to be talking about how to create a YouTube channel. By a show of ones in the question box, how many of you already have a YouTube channel? I'd love to know. And also how you can add videos to your channel, how to optimize your channel. How many of you know that you can optimize your channel with playlists? Let me know. You know that? I'd love to hear how you can promote your business with video ads. So I'll talk to you about that little part that is a little bit fee-based, small fee, but I'm going to talk to you more about how you can use it for free. Okay, so just keep that in mind. We'll do that towards the end. And of course, I always end with a recap of free resources. And I like to recap exactly what's going on, because this is your time. And how are you going to apply what you learned? Because knowledge is not powerful at all. Applied knowledge is. Okay, so let's go. I see some people do have a YouTube channel. Now, what I would love for you to do when you get a chance during the webinar is just drop your YouTube channel name If you've got a customized name, let me know in there, or your URL if you want to put the address there, and I would love to go visit your channel afterwards and just be able to subscribe and see what you do. All right, so now let's talk about how you can create your YouTube channel. So I'm going to go through some of the logistics here. If some of you have heard this before, feel free to ask questions. I want to make sure that you can optimize it and you're using every aspect to get the visibility that you need from YouTube. Because while Google is the #1 search engine in the world, YouTube is #2. Now just take that in for a moment. YouTube is the #2 search engine in the world and the #1 social network in the world. And both are owned by Google. That is why, as a small business or a local business, it is up to you and really your responsibility to understand how search works in both these channels. And both of these channels are search engines, which means that people go here when they want to know, go, do, or buy. They are not just scrolling for social and wanting to be entertained and waste their time. They'll do some of that, but when they're looking for specific instruction, they are going with great intent, and so there's a lot of focus. And when there's focus like that, people are paying attention, which means you have a great chance to get visibility and validity to your business, okay? So do know that only, just keep this in mind, only 12% of businesses have a YouTube marketing strategy. Just think about that. YouTube is a wide open ocean for people to use. People are flooding to TikTok, and while TikTok is hot on YouTube's heels, YouTube's still #1. People are flooding and doing those Instagram stories and doing those reels now that you can go up to 90 seconds and they're going there. But not everybody's on TikTok and not everybody's on Instagram. But when everybody needs information, they will say, hey, Google, hey, Alexa, or they'll Google it. Okay? So, and do know that YouTube results show up in Google results. And it's important for you to show up in the first page of a Google search, because if you don't show up in the first page, which is 10 organic search results, you don't exist. You're not considered an expert in your business if you're not showing up there. Most people will think that your business does not even operate anymore and that you don't exist. First page is where the experts stay. Everything else is just if they're hunting you down for bill collection. Okay, so let's talk about signing into YouTube. So when you go to youtube.com, you're going to sign in right here. That's the URL you go to. Now, if you are already signed into your Gmail account, you're golden. You just have to click sign in, refresh it, and it will see your credentials and bring you right on in. If you do not have a Gmail account, not to worry. You can get a free YouTube account. You just sign in, use your current email address. It doesn't change it to Gmail. Create a password, and like any other password protected site online, this is how you access everything, okay? Now, as you create a channel, when you're in YouTube, you will see here at the right-hand side that you can click here and it'll say create a channel, and you can also create a channel here. What you'll find is when you're actually navigating across any of the Google tools, there are several places where you can use the same functions. So if you prefer the right side or you prefer here where it's telling you to create a channel, you can use either or. Now I see some questions here. Let me go back through here. I have playlists, not many videos yet. Understand, so this will be helpful to you. Oh, and I see some people posting their YouTube channels. Thank you, everybody. Haven't used yours in a while. No worries, no worries. This is, you can revive it, and now you just can do it really well. So it's optimized to get visibility, right? And perfect. I'm so glad you're getting started. This will make sure that you just are rid of and don't do any bad habits. All right, so we're going to create our channel first. After we create our channel, now you have the opportunity to customize that channel. That's what we're going to do next. So you will see that these slides actually walk you through an outline of how to do this. So if you want a copy of today's slides, just put the number 2 in here. The number 2 is all you need to do to get a copy of today's slides 24 hours from now, emailed to you with a copy of the recording. This is just only for people who are commenting in the question box. So if you haven't found it yet, then it's important that you do hunt for it. So you'll get both those, the recording and a copy of today's slides. So we're going to customize our channel. Once we do that, now we have access to YouTube Studio. Now, those of you who are from back in the day, because I used to be involved with Google Help Out. So I'd actually help out people on how to utilize YouTube and maximize their YouTube channel. And then you just would upload things, but now you see that create button here. And you also see YouTube Studio, which gives you all of the dashboard and all of the rich information and the tools that you need to help grow your visibility and start your channel. The first place to go is to layout. So you're going to click on layout. and you're going to see you have some tools available to you. For those of you who've set up your YouTube channel, just review this to be sure you have all of this actually optimized and used. So the first one is the video spotlight. When you go to somebody's channel, you'll see a video playing. That is known as the trailer. So there is a trailer at the very beginning. It's a channel trailer for people who haven't subscribed. This is to entice them and really share with them what they expect, what they can expect, what they're going to get, the value of what they're going to get. But really, really quickly, we want to entice them to ring that bell, hit that subscribe button. You've heard it over and over again, but that's what we want to do. So that's the channel trailer. It's that promise and setting those expectations. But then after they subscribe, there is a featured video that you could put. This is the video where you just say, thank you. Thank you for being a subscriber. This is again what you can get. Here's some information right now that can help you. Okay. Okay, let me see. I think I've got all unused internet. I'm just seeing there's a little audio delay, so I got a little warning here. I just want to make sure I didn't have anything else open. Anything else I've opened is just to be able to work with you guys. So hopefully the audio is sounding good. Everybody, does the audio sound good? Let me know in the question box. So you do have that video spotlight. Okay, good. I see people want a copy of today's slides. Again, don't put an email address in the question box. It's not going to read it at all. It's going to read the email that you registered with. Okay, audio's good. Thank you, Joel, Stacy, Carolyn. All right. So you have a featured video. This is a chance for you to really showcase and deliver what you just said. Really, this channel trailer is telling them what you're going to tell them. And then, of course, what are you going to tell them? Tell them again, and then remind them this is what you've gotten. So that's what you're doing with the featured video. How many of you are using both of those because that's part of optimizing your channel. Then the other part you heard me talk about is playlist, right? So those are featured sections. By default, when you upload a video into YouTube, the default is latest uploads or uploads. That's it. It's a really boring YouTube channel, not optimized at all. What you want to do is have sections. So when you have sections, already by default, you do have the opportunity to have uploads shown and shorts videos. Shorts videos, just a marketer's hint, are given more favor in the algorithm than anything else. That is what is competing so heavily with TikTok and with Instagram story and reels. And so if you are going to use short videos, use the hashtag shorts in your description to show up in shorts and keep the video short. Now, your uploads are there by default, but you can customize this by adding a section and adding playlists. And the reason I encourage you to do this is, remember, this is a search engine. So not only do we have to have video, but there has to be text because people are still looking for keywords and phrases. The Google bot is searching for that to match you to somebody who is looking for your information or your solution. And because of that, now we've got to put some text in. So example, let's say, oh my goodness, let's say Texas Tech, okay? Let me just play with you guys for a moment. So let's say you have a YouTube channel and you have an upload about how to utilize the Small Business Development Center, how you can become one of the clients. So you do a playlist on your channel about that, and you break it up into about 2 to 3 minute increments, walking them through the process. And then you name the playlist, Texas Tech University, Northwest Texas Small Business, I'm going to watch the name here, Northwest Texas Business Resource Center. You're going to put that up there, that this is how to get started as a client with a small business, the Northwest Texas Small Business Resource Center or Business Resource Center, how to get started. And then you're going to do a playlist of 4 or 5 videos, but you're going to label that playlist, and you might even say how to become a client of the Northwest Business Resource Center 2022 to even make sure it's visible, showing it's the most current information. Make sense to you? Okay. All right. So yeah, no trailer yet. So you have a featured video. Think about the trailer to entice everybody coming over. Absolutely. All right. So let's jump in further about optimization. So branding, this is very key because there's a reason we know the golden arches when we're running down the road, and we know what that is and what we want from there. So in your branding, take a look at what you're using on your website and your Google business profile, on your LinkedIn profile for your business, your Facebook business profile, your Instagram, your TikTok. can people easily recognize who you are? A lot of times we get bored with our visuals and our text before anybody even notices we exist. So look at your banner image and make sure it looks good on a mobile device, because remember, 74% of us go on a mobile device anytime we want to connect, and this needs to look good on any device. Understand, if people have to zoom in to look at anything or sweep side and side to finish it, they're going to go on to the next person. It just becomes too much. So it's important also, if they don't recognize you, that your branding is something that they can say, hey, I know this is her because I saw this here. It looks the same as what she has on Instagram. This is her. So you have the ability to upload a logo or a picture and also a banner image. Now you can put basic information. This is where you have to really showcase your expertise in your customer, because you need to be the expert in your customer or your client and really know what words they use. Tell them what you're going to give them here, but use the words that they use, not what you think, what they use. When we go over the session in this business bootcamp about reach customers online, I can showcase to you exactly where you can find for free exactly the words your customers are using. But one place you can go to is go to the reviews of your competitors or even yourself and read the words that your customers are using and use their words here. That's a hint, okay, that you can use that. I can show you other places too when we do that session on reach customers online. And then also you have your channel URL links and your contact information. Update all of that. And then after you have 100 subscribers, you can go back here and customize your channel, okay? So you can put a custom name instead of just having youtube.com/gibberish. Now, when you customize your channel, that's what it looks like. See that banner image right here? See the profile picture right here? So that could be a logo, or it could be, in this gentleman's case, DIY Creators. He really showcases his face across all of his socials and all of his web properties. And then his video spotlight, after somebody has subscribed, shows up the spotlight, or it is the channel video if they have not subscribed yet, really enticing them. But you'll see right here, so you see that little rectangle, that is actually the website and also all of your social links. So you can include that in YouTube and meet people where they're already at. If they prefer Instagram, if they prefer Facebook, then you can meet them where they're at, but you can also have a link to your website. But here's a marketer's expert tip. He put DIY Creators website, but he really has that. You see that everywhere, DIY Creators, DIY Creators. So if I knew that somebody searched the phrase, I want to do it myself, or I want to learn how to do it myself, then instead of putting DIY Creators website, because you have total control over the text right here in this little rectangle, I would put a link to the website and I would say, learn how to do it yourself, or learn how to create this, or learn how to woodwork yourself. I would use those text, or want to learn how to work with wood. Anything like that other than DIY Creators website, because you really do already have the name. That branded keyword is what we call a name of an actual business. So you see that already here, and he's getting a lot of good Google juice, which is SEO, search engine optimization, and visibility. Because if the search engine doesn't see you, then there's no way that it can actually showcase you in results to somebody who is looking for your product, service, or solution. Now we can organize that channel. So you see here that he actually went in and organized it and grouped it by playlist, just like I was talking about earlier. So this gives you the visual of what I was talking about. And he talks about here about this being a DIY build and furniture. So don't just rely on the upload to be the default that you do. Organize your channel. Make it pleasant and something that invites people to subscribe and them to want to hang out and look at your information, that it's relevant to them and it's not a mess. It's easy to find things. Most people will bounce from any sort of social or online property if it's disorganized. So organizing your channel is really beneficial, not just to the user who is coming in to look for information, but also to the search engine. So it can see you as well and provide your information in the search results. So how can you create and add videos to your channel? Before we go on to that, let me look and see if there's any questions. What is the typical length for a video short? Video shorts, I mean, they can go up to a minute, but I try to keep them super short, 15, 30 seconds, 90 seconds. Instagram just went to 90 seconds. I try to stay within there because what I do, a Alita, is I actually repurpose my Instagram stories and my Instagram reels in shorts. I know not everybody's in all the socials, right? Some people just left the socials, some just don't have time for them. But I know that YouTube is evergreen. In fact, the information there stays forever. It stays very rich and very searchable. It's the #2 search engine in the world. Search results show up in Google. So because of that, I take that same information, that same video, and I repurpose it and put it into a short. So I don't lose the information there and just tunnel vision myself to people only on Instagram. Unless that's your perfect customer. If your target audience is only on Instagram, but I will ask you to slow down and really look at YouTube demographics, because people are watching shorts and YouTube algorithm actually favors shorts. So great question there, Alita. I'm sorry, Terry. It was Terry who had that question. Sorry, Terry, it was you who had the question. Sorry, Alita, you were asking for a copy. You actually will get a copy for after this. Again, 24 hours. Bob, are you sharing your screen? I only see you. I am sharing my screen. Does everybody else see my screen? Bob, if I'm covering everything, you can drag the box with me, with my head in it. But is everybody seeing the screen, or is it just me? Would you let me know? Okay, yeah, Kylie sees Shannon. I can see your screen. Okay, whew. I thought, man, did I see everything? The systems go here, but I just want to make sure. So Bob, sometimes what happens, that little window that has my talking head in it, you can just drag that around. You can hide it. You can minimize it to the smallest little square and get me out of your way. Okay, hope that's helpful. Perfect, Cynthia, thank you. All right, so any other questions? Just let me know in the question box. So let's talk about creating the video. First, you need to know, what is your video going to do for you? What is the goal of your video? Because that will help you decide what technology to use. If you want to be immediate and you want to show your authenticity and your raw transparency, then you're going to use your phone, because we have an entire photo studio in here. So this is actually the latest Samsung. I mean, my gosh, I've got everything in here that I never had when I even had my GoPro. So this is just perfect for that. Right? So you could do that here. It's immediate, it's authentic, it's raw. You can do a lot of editing here, even use InShot that you use for Instagram. Take that, download it from Instagram, and then utilize it and upload it to YouTube Shorts. But perhaps, let's say you're branding yourself as maybe a speaker, like somebody said, they're vetting a speaker, or you're actually branding yourself as an employer brand. So you want people to come work for your organization, and you're maybe trying to entice engineers who are just graduating from college. So you really want to come up with that professional stance, unless of course you're a fun place like Google where it's everybody's in t-shirts and jeans. So maybe you want a different look, but it's still a very professional photo shoot that happens. So keep that in mind. What is the actual purpose of the video? What do you want it to convey? And how are you going to measure the success of your video? What is the success action that somebody needs to do? Do they need to watch it and call you, watch it, leave their email address, watch it and download the PDF, watch it and fill the contact form on your site, watch it and buy from you? Or what is it they need to do? You need to be the one to fill in that gap, because only you know exactly what you want YouTube to do for you. And then you have to understand the story that you want to tell. Sometimes if you're an employer brand, or you're really trying to position yourself as an expert, there's a story that you want to tell to really elevate and showcase that you're as good as you say you are. So think about who is telling the story. But a lot of times when I'm working with e-commerce, people will sometimes think it's the person who's the story, and sometimes it is. If there's an inventor of an amazing product and you want to know a little bit more about how that inventor thought and how they actually came up with that information or the idea, then you might want to know the inventor. But a lot of times the star of that story then is actually the product, because people want to understand the product, how it works, how you take it apart, how you clean it, what it benefits them with, how safe it is. They want to know all of those things. So you really need to know what story it is that you want to tell with each video. What's the purpose? What's the goal? And then of course, who is the star of the video? Is it you? Is it your business brand? Is it your product? Is it your customer? Because maybe you're doing a whole bunch of videos and testimonials about your customers, and you're really showing them exactly who you serve and who that best customer looks like, because now they can listen to that best customer and see if that resonates with them. Does that make sense to you? All right. So there are many types of story types you can tell. You're going to see me run through it here, but let me slow down just a minute and really frame this. A lot of people like to use and like to start with their first story on YouTube as the hero story. This is you or your product or service being the hero to a customer. So let me tell you what that sounds like. Now, a lot of times when we have 30 seconds, we will say things that don't mean anything. And understand you have the first 5 to 10 seconds to really capture somebody's attention. So you really need to draw them in. And the best way to do that is in stories. You've heard the phrase, stories sell. Facts tell, stories sell. So think about this for a moment. If I was a property casualty insurance agent and I got on video and said, hi, my name is Maria Elena Duron. I am a property and casualty insurance agent, and I can take care of your home, your auto, your recreational vehicles, your boat, your RV, anything that you have. I can make sure that you're safe and insured. My name is Maria Elena Duron. You can reach me at 555-1212. That's typical. That is what you see all day long uploaded into YouTube. But now let's make this a story, okay? So think of this for a minute. Hi, I'm Maria Elena Duron, and as a little girl, my father was an insurance agent, and I recall a family knocking on our door one night when we were getting ready to sit down to supper, and they were so grateful that my father had taken care of insuring everything they had. You see, they were in our neighborhood and they had had a fire. They just experienced a fire, and they're so grateful not to have any loss of life, but they really had no idea what they needed to do next, and my father took care of them. It's at that moment when I realized that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to help people when they needed me the most, and that's what I do as a property and casualty insurance agent. My name's Maria Elena Duron, 555-1212. Which one touched you emotionally? Which one reached out to you? That is the hero story. Now let me give you the framework of the hero story. It is once upon a time, suddenly, luckily, happily ever after. That is the framework of the hero story. So while I didn't say it out loud, that's what I was thinking in my mind. Once upon a time, I was a little girl and there was a knock. My father's an insurance agent. There's a knock on the door. Suddenly, this family came up and they had a fire. Luckily, my father had insured them. Happily ever after, they were taken care of. I decided that was my calling in life. This is what happened. Once upon a time, suddenly, luckily, happily ever after. It's the 5-year-old story format. We understand it so easily and can consume it so easily. And it's quickly for us to be able to start forming our stories around that. Just say that in your head. Don't say the once upon a time, suddenly, luckily, and happily ever after out loud. But use this when you go on camera, because a lot of times we stress out about what to say on camera and we ramble. That's our biggest challenge of being experts at what we do. We know this much about our business and we've got to cut it down to this much. We've got to fit it into 15 to 90 seconds, right? So now you can do that with this hero story. Now there are lots of other types of stories too. And let me tell you, with your story, it's not about you. It is about how the person seeing the story sees themselves in that story. Can they relate? Do they see themselves running through that? That's who you're telling the story for. And we never as adults start our actual story with, I'm going to tell you a story, because immediately we send the audience, and the audience can be across from a mobile phone or here on video. We don't ever start that story like that because they'll immediately fall asleep. I'm going to tell you a story. Oh my gosh, they're going to take forever and we fall asleep. We just jump right in to the emotion, to the feeling, drop them in. If you ever look at movies and how people do some amazing videos that people actually see go viral, they drop you right in. You're in the middle of the action. They don't tell you, okay, let me tell you about once upon a time when I did this. They drop you right in to the action. All right, so think of that for your story. Now, also, it could be a business story that you're telling. See that in front of you right here? The recommended length is 30 to 60 seconds, and it really highlights who you are, what you do, and why you do it. Why does this drive you? The hero story can do that as well. And again, the hero could be you, your client, or your actual product. Then there's a product or service story. You can really show the benefit, really talk to them about what they get. You know, there's features and then there's benefits. Benefits is what's in it for me. Imagine everybody has tattooed on their head WIIFM, and it's your job to answer that question. All right, so what is it that your product really provides them? Oh, it's a nice, clean place to eat. It's a non-spillable bowl. Great, it's a non-spillable bowl, but what does that mean to me? It means you're not getting wet socks, you're not walking on crunchy cereal, and you're not having to worry about any slips and falls. Okay, so really speak in their language. Again, look at the reviews that you've gotten, or your competitors if you've not started business or you don't have that many reviews yet. Look at your competitors to see the words people are using and use their words. And then there's also a promotional story. Maybe you have a special offer, so you really want to showcase this. This is where you can build rapport. You know, it's been about 15, 16 years ago. I was on television before. I was the business coach for CBS, and so I'd come in and talk about business coaching tips. Do you know, to this day, when I walk into a grocery store, that even I haven't been on camera or on TV for 15 years, they'll say, "Oh, it's Maria. I saw you on TV." It's like 15 years ago, I haven't been on there, but I don't say that. I just say thank you and smile, because I know how lasting it is and what kind of rapport there is built when somebody comes into something as intimate as your mobile device and you're laying on your bed and you're watching them, right? So those are some of the things you can do. Just make sure your message is clear and concise. You got the first 5 to 15 seconds, all right, to really capture their attention. And do make sure at the end there's a call to action. So the way I like to frame that is, think about, what is it the feeling that you want people to have when they see your video? Do you want them to feel empowered, excited, scared, angry, delighted, motivated? What do you want them to feel? And then after that, what is it that you want to tell them? What's the one thing that you want to tell them? You can go up to 3 things, but I wouldn't overload a video with more than 3 things of what you want to tell them, and then what do they need to do next? What's the call to action? Because it's not that they're stupid, it's because they're distracted. We all in any given day get 12,600 messages every single day. So it's hard, we forget. You might have said something amazing and we thought, oh my gosh, I want to do business with them. And now all of a sudden, oh, I got a text from my son, I got to go pick him up. We're on another planet, right? So we're not even there. Tell them what you want them to do next. So what is that compelling call to action? And if all your videos don't have that, then you need to add that to all your videos. So a lot of times when we produce a video, we could do something which is a selfie. We all pretty much know that. You can have a backdrop, and boy, it's easy to do backdrops now, either digitally or even, you know, upgrading from the sheet in the back. You can do a voiceover, so you can show a video. Like today, I actually showed a video in Las Vegas because I was traveling in Las Vegas this weekend. So I showed a video and did a voiceover on my Instagram story. You can do the top down, where you're actually looking down so that they can see kind of a view, your perspective, so that point of view. You can also point and shoot. You can also do this, as I said, right here, where you're actually in motion or told with text or utilize animation. So you can see a lot of creative tips here at this URL at the bottom left-hand side to help you actually get better and more interesting in what you do in your actual video technical production. But if you don't have the story, it doesn't matter how amazing the tech is. If the story is poop or there's nothing there and you're just spouting off a lot of factoids, then forget it. There's nothing that you can do here to make it interesting to them. And also the same thing goes for your product or service. If your product or service isn't great, there's nothing YouTube can do for you to really put lipstick on that pig, right? So when you are shooting your video, look at your space, look behind you. So there's a reason you can see the back here for me. It's actually a requirement for all of us who are Google trainers to actually showcase that we are broadcasting from our home. We're not on Google Campus, we're on home, because this is what we do. We are small business focused and we come from small business. So you can see the space, but it's going to be free of clutter. You also need to make sure that that spouse isn't walking in, or that significant other, and knows that you are actually having a hot or live camera there. We all seen that in Zoom calls, right? Way too many times the last few years. Also take a look at lighting. I'm using Loom cubes right now to light because I happen to be in the darker corner of where my office actually sits in the room. The window's way over there and I'm far away from it. So I'm not going to get the good light that you'd love to get. Natural lighting is best. But understand that sound is very key. So most of the time, I'm not there this year, but all the other years in the past, I go to San Diego Comic-Con because we work with a lot of YouTube creators and VTubers, and we actually, and Twitch, people who are very active on Twitch and Discord. And so because of that, we go to Comic-Con, San Diego Comic-Con quite a bit. And you're talking about 100,000 people on the Comic-Con floor. And I'm trying to talk to people with my phone, and I'm all but 5 foot tall, and everybody else is just as giant can be and all dressed up. So what I do is I put a mic and I actually attach another mic. Even though my mic here is great, I attach another mic because I know that people will forgive many things. They'll forgive lighting and a little bit of shakiness, but they will never forgive if they cannot hear you and the sound is crunchy or it's echoey, they will go on to the next video. So understand how important sound is. Listen for the ceiling fan if it's going off. I live in West Texas. Listen if the West Texas wind is blowing. You may be just whipped around with your hair, but understand the sound is also coming across too. Now, what's nice is you can also use and do an overlay of sound, which you see a lot of people doing. If you're ever in TikTok, and I love to go there and see what's trending, I use a lot of services to find out what's trending on TikTok, apply it over at Instagram. But you can see here that a lot of times you're looking for something that's royalty free, that you don't have to worry about getting dinged for copyright infringement. And you can go to YouTube's actually audio library, and you can see a lot of free sounds that you can use. So that's already built in there. And if you're in your YouTube studio, your YouTube channel, so that's that back end, the back dashboard, look on that left-hand side, which is where all the navigation is, and you're gonna look for that audio library and you'll find it there. Now, how can you add videos to your channel? Remember, we talked about that, starting with the create here, upload videos, and then you're gonna upload those, select the files, and then you'll upload those. As you're uploading those, there are things that you can do to optimize this. Let me see if there's any questions though before I go past this. Is there a class on lighting? I struggle with that. You know, Amy, there's actually a lot of YouTube videos on lighting. So I actually found a few people that I like talk about lighting. One is Wonderful Ida. She does a great job talking about lighting, especially if you're getting side window lighting. So she's one that I like to follow. Now, she has an entire YouTube class. She's an amazing person. I don't know about her YouTube class, but I know that her videos are spot on lighting, okay? Yes, she also covers some sound too. Okay, but do understand at the end, Amy, I'm going to share with you where you can go because there's an entire YouTube Academy that you can access for free. Okay, so hang out to the end or make sure you get a copy of today's slides because then you will have access to that and you'll get access for free. Okay, just want to make sure you know that. Yep. All right. Yes, and absolutely, Maxwell, a copy of the recording and the slide deck will be sent to anybody who has commented. Either they want a copy, meaning the recording, or they would put the number 2 for the slide deck. Okay, so just put that there, no email address needed, and you'll get a copy. All right, let's talk about optimizing our video. Oh, absolutely. Optimizing our video, put the title there. Really think about what is it that people search for and use their words. Now the description. Again, Google's algorithm has everything to do with relevancy. It's the first pillar of the 3 pillars that fuel Google's algorithm. And Google's algorithm is also working on YouTube's algorithm, and that is relevant. How well are you matching to what somebody's actually typing in or saying in voice search? So do utilize this. Now, here's a little expert tip. Put at least 3 timestamps in there. Okay, so when I say timestamps, I start with 000 and then I use the title of what I'm using here because I know how good this is for YouTube search engine optimization. Put that there, so I just use the title. So if it's Grow with Google demo video, I put 0:00 and I put Grow with Google demo video. And then maybe at 12 seconds or 12 seconds, or not even, maybe 15 seconds, I'll say introduction to the Grow with Google program. And then maybe I'll say at 2 minutes, review of how you can become a Google partner. Okay, so I'll use those as the 3 minimum timestamps. Timestamps are given favor by the algorithm and show up higher in the relevancy score, so you do want to show up there higher, and you can optimize that. Of course, the thumbnail does too. Too much text in a thumbnail, out you go. You want to make sure you've got a little bit of text because people can't see it. It's a thumbnail. And you want to have a lot of good graphics to entice them in. Now, if you are a business, absolutely, branding and consistency is important. So look at your colors, look at your graphics, and make sure it is still looking like your brand. People can see that it matches with your brand because that consistency builds trust. Now, you can add subtitles if you want to. These are just subtitles that you can bring in. You can also do an end screen. I like to use this quite a bit because I know that YouTube does suggested videos, and I would rather be the one to suggest. So after I've got some videos actually in my channel, then I like to use those videos as the next video for them to see instead of the random video suggestions that people see on YouTube. And then also cards. You can have cards flash up with if you want to bring out different elements or talk about, something that they can go look at your site, or even put say, go look for this on our site. You want to put some calls to action, so you can add those two in between different sections of the video if your video is long enough. Excuse me. Then you're going to see a video check come on. I saw this last night when I was uploading some videos, that now that you can have them notify you, so you don't have to wait for the check mark, but that just lets you know that you're clear. Copyright infringement, all of that is not being worried about. My channel's monetized, so they notify me because they go through a lot of different checks there. Then now visibility, you decide how visible you want it to be. So let's walk through what this looks like. You can make it private or you can make it public. Private means that they have to be logged into their YouTube or Google account to be able to access it. So if you make it private and you say, I'm going to send it to Jane Doe's Gmail, you can send it to Jane Doe, but understand that Jane Doe has to be logged into that specific Gmail account for her to see it. This threw off my 82-year-old mother, because my 82-year-old mother subscribes to a lot of different YouTube channels. She loves YouTube, but they made something private and she didn't understand why she couldn't see it, but she wasn't logged into her Google account. She was just watching YouTube from her phone and wasn't officially logged in there. So understand, private is just that. It keeps it just to the people that you said at that email address. And then of course you can say here, you can schedule it. Let me see what I've got here. Unlisted is a lot of times how people keep it private without having other people having to log into their Gmail or Google account. So they keep it unlisted because it's usually a URL with a lot of gibberish. It's hard to find and duplicate. Or you can schedule it. If you've promised everybody I upload at 9 o'clock every Thursday, then that's when you schedule. It's 9 o'clock every Thursday. So you can do that. Okay, so you decide on the visibility there, and you can always go back and change that. You'll click save. After you click save, now your video is published and you can immediately get a share link to all of these socials. Okay, so you have all that available, or right here, you can just copy it right away and drop it into an email, or use it in a post, or use it in a profile description or a profile link. You can do whatever you'd like to here. Now, we talked about shorts for just a moment, but those are 60 seconds or less, right? So even those 90-second Instagrams don't work as well. You can make them work, but it actually works against the algorithm. So 60 seconds is a sweet spot. I keep it even shorter than that because people's attention spans like this. You know, it's funny because Netflix made us during all of this think very episodically, you know, that we don't want to watch all season 1 of Game of Thrones. We want to go see episode 8 and the first 10 minutes in episode 8, we want to go see that. We don't want to watch all season 1 to see episode 8. So we're used to things being broken up in episodes, and you can do that with shorts or even your YouTube videos. Break them up because people don't share when it's huge and long. What they do share is when it's, oh, okay, wow, this is the first 10 minutes or this is the 2 minutes that I was most interested in, the funniest moments of the movie. I'm going to go ahead and send that out. This is the moment when John Travolta was dancing with Christopher Walken. I'm going to send that out. We're not going to send him the whole movie Hairspray, just that out. So we'll share little snippets, and it makes it very snackable and digestible to them and their context here. Make sense? So you can learn more about shorts by going to this URL too. Again, if you put that number 2 in the actual chat box or the question box, you'll get a copy of today's slides so you can follow along and go to that URL directly. Now, Amy, this is the Creator Academy I was talking about. If you go to this URL here, and if you want to screenshot this, since you're not going to get the slides or the actual recording until 24 hours minimum from now. So you might want to screenshot that so you can take action right away and go here. This is everything you need to know about being able to be an expert and even a creator and an influencer on YouTube. This has a lot of videos, a downloadable guide. It's really an amazing resource, and it's 100% free. So I would start here before you go looking at any other paid solutions. Go here first because this is truly right directly from Google and from YouTube. Now, how can you promote your business with video ads? Well, I'm going to show you Tulane College. This is Tulane's Closet. Do understand, and I'm going to show you how to use it for free, at least some elements of it, or keep it small fee. All right, so let's watch from Tulane's Closet real quick. I'm going to go to video. Remember, I warned about that. When I go to video, I might lose some of you in audio. You'll need to switch to either phone audio or computer audio. Let's go ahead and go and meet Tulane.
Sorry about the snorting. Normally, after a surgical procedure, pets typically go home with what's called a cone or an e-collar. My name is Stephanie Seiberg, and I am the owner and developer of Tulane's Closet. When I was in veterinary medicine, I had a lot of clients come and ask if there was something else out there that they could use, and that's how it kind of got started. I had an idea. It's a one-piece post-surgical pet garment. The advantages of the Cover Me by Chewy is that they can eat, sleep a lot easier than wearing a cone. They can actually get through their doggy door. They can relax comfortably. Video can show people what it's made out of, how to put it on, how easy it is to use the potty cover. YouTube, it's great for people that are just starting a new business or small business owners like myself, because we're all on a budget. As you see that business is growing, you can always add to that at any time. We have doubled almost every year since we started in 2013. There's so many people now that really consider their pet their family, and they want them to be comfortable. I think a lot of dogs are a lot happier right now.
All right. Hopefully you can hear me again. We had a chance to meet Tulane's closet. Wow, I just keep wanting to call it college. So we're going to talk about how you can advertise on YouTube next. Perfect. Yeah, I want that. I hear you too. I'm definitely a dog mom. So advertise on YouTube. You'll go to youtube.com/ads. I'm with you, Heidi. Now, there are different kinds of ads. There are bumper ads and they're bite-sized. So those are 6 seconds. You may not think that's a lot of time, but believe me, you can get a picture of your logo, you can get your name, and you can get a lot of branding out there in 6 seconds. There are skippable in-stream ads. So that's when you see people skip the ad. There are outstreams ads. So those are ads in between showing the different videos. You can discover different ads, or there are in-stream ads, which means you can't skip those. The video won't start until after they actually see that ad. So there's snack size and meals, which are what each of these elements or each of these different types of ads break down to. Now, in a 6-second story bumper ad, there's a lot that you can tell in that 6 second. So you can consider this something that you actually pair up even with another ad. So you can do 2 ads, even one, and you can target your ads towards somebody who loves dogs, somebody who's a dog mom, a dog parent, somebody who's a dog owner, a dog trainer. It's really nice, the targeting that you can do with the specific ads. But this is what I like to teach people to use for free. So this is skippable in-stream ads. Now understand, if somebody watches it all the way through, you're going to pay for the actual watching. They've got to watch it 30 seconds. But a lot of times with a skippable ad, what I like to do is put all the branding and messaging up front, put it all up front the first 6 seconds, get it out there, because you're going to have 5 to 6 seconds before that skip ad comes on. When they click skip ad, now you don't pay. So if they don't skip the ad, you're going to see that in the insights in the back end. You're going to see that when you measure that some people didn't skip the ad. So you know this is resonating with your best customer. But understand that if you just want to get that visibility, you can do this, put everything up front just in case they skip. If they skip, you don't pay a thing. And what's nice though is you also get a companion banner with that ad that hangs out here. So even if they skip, this banner is here giving you good, nice visibility, brand consistency there. And as they travel around YouTube, your banner just hangs out there until they come to their next skippable ad. So you get some good visibility. They could be called away on a phone or a text, and now you have still good visibility showing them, oh yeah, I was looking at information about Tulane's closet. So that is how you can use at least a little bit for free, or at least small fee. So your next step, remember what I said about making sure that you know that knowledge is not powerful until it is applied. I've shared a lot of knowledge with you today. So you might need to apply it by creating your channel, creating and uploading videos, and really optimizing that channel for visibility, or exploring those additional resources like the Creator Academy I was telling you about, Amy. So think about all of those things. What is it that you need to apply and put on your to-do list right now? Now, if you're absolutely, oh my gosh, this is not me, I can't do the videos myself, you can go to this URL and take a screenshot of that. That is where you can find people who are certified in your area, your local area, to be able to do YouTube videos. So they understand the platform really well and how to optimize it, and they can do all the video and video editing for you. So you can find them here. If you've decided already, even after today, that that's not what I want to spend my time with, I want somebody else to do it, you could do that. Now, of course, we have a free Primer app also. So that Google Primer is an app available on the iPhone App Store or on the Google Play Store for Android. And you can see there's lessons in there, mini marketing lessons, which are really good because they keep this up to date, and you can see how you can get found by more customers. So really optimizing that YouTube channel of yours. And then lastly, if you are interested in any of these career certificates, I'm just letting you know that if you are a small business with your EIN number, then you can apply right here to get a free scholarship. And they are giving those away till December 2023 to get a digital marketing and e-commerce career certificate that's recognized by universities as well as many major employers. So that's something you might be interested in doing, or maybe having your team do. We're a small team here as far as with our business, because my boys actually lead our business. And they have a team of 15 people, but every single one of them is going through that because it's available free to businesses with an EIN number. And then if you go to google.com/grow, you can find out everything that we train about, and ask the Google partner that invited you that you'd like to bring me back for more and have some more Google training, or as we were talking about earlier, even somebody who's Spanish speaking, we could do that. But this is your Google partners, and I just want to give them a great shout out and say thank you to them for hosting this and making sure that you have what you need to be successful in using YouTube to grow your business. Now, we do have more business boot camp coming up tomorrow. We're really going to be talking about how you can make your website work for you, and then how you can sell online with e-commerce. Understand, I've been 12 years in international e-commerce, so you're going to get much more than what that slide deck has in place. The slide deck's the basics, and I'm going to cover that, but also best practices so you can really just ramp up and amplify what you're doing quickly. And now we're going to go to Q&A. And remember what I said, Q&A